Guys, quick intro. As you guys have already probably heard and know, Chelsea, she's even makes an appearance on my webinar. She's everywhere, but she's one of my OGs, just like Bree. She came to me a while back and, decided to reach out for help in scaling her already established dropshipping businesses. I'm taking your introduction spotlight, but she is a dropshipping queen expert. She's who I send everybody to who is looking to dive into e-commerce. When we met, she was already running multiple six-figure dropshipping stores, but she was ready to scale, and she loved the techniques that I used. And so, after learning my methods and working together, she said, you want to go in on some stores together? Like, we can make a lot of money. And I was like, okay. And yeah, so we've had stores together. We've been business partners, and she's even brought me into her infamous Pennies to Gold dropshipping course, where I basically guest speaker on her program. We collab at the last 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I introduce her audience, which are new dropshipping business owners, to Facebook ads. So many of you in here have seen her or have probably taken her course, but welcome, Chelsea.
Thanks, babe. Thank you for having me, you guys. I really appreciate, the spotlight on your platform. So I'm excited to talk to you all because I know that, a lot of you are now being exposed. I mean, obviously, if you know Lorell, you're being exposed to Facebook ads and marketing. And for some of you, it may be the first time. For others, it may be not your first time. This is something, marketing is always changing. It's something that you have to kind of stay current with, and new techniques, new strategies are always being tested. So even if, it's something that you tried in the past, it's definitely, you always have to be a student when it comes to marketing. So, investing in education is definitely essential and critical in this industry, especially if you're trying to make money online, especially. Yep. And, I realized that very, very quickly as a drop shipper when I first got started out. Jen, I'm a course junkie. Me and Lorell are both course junkies, honestly. But, that's just the way you need to be if you want to take yourself to the next level. And you can't just take one course, read one book and think, okay, and if you don't get if you're not able to take it to that next level because of that one investment, you can't chalk it up like it just doesn't work. You just have to keep learning always. So Facebook ads has been extremely, it's 100% the reason that I've been able to establish, not only as a drop shipper, but we have 4 different avenues that we bring in revenue from, and we use Facebook for all of them. It's just a no-brainer. So I am excited to talk to you guys because now that you are being introduced, or now that you are mastering, or wherever you are in your journey, you now, I'm sure, already realize how powerful Facebook ads are. And once you master that, or once you kind of get a few strategies under your belt, I hope that you guys think outside the box enough to not only use it for what you obviously joined her program for, your current business, but also expand and do more with it. Those one skill sets, or that one skill set that you master, you can go on to apply to every business, any idea that you ever have, which is so freaking powerful when you think about it like that. So drop shipping is just a lane that I think is very low cost compared to pretty much any other. Once upon a time, we didn't really have many entrepreneur friends, but as we've grown and as our mindset has changed, pretty much everybody in our circle is now a successful business owner of some sort. And it's crucial. You have to know marketing. So
yes. Yay. So guys, we have some questions for Miss Chelsea to spill the tea for you, but hopefully the last 15 minutes will open up the lines for Q&A. So feel free to drop some questions if they, pop up in your mind in the chat. And then, if not, I'll start off. We have some questions for you. So, I think I pretty much introduced you, but we want to know, as far as, just your journey, how did you first get started in dropshipping?
So I got started 3 years ago, maybe 3 years and a couple months at this point. And it's not anything that I ever saw myself. I didn't even know, how anything about online money or online business. Like I was very green, my life consisted of waking up, going on YouTube and watching makeup tutorials. I know it sounds crazy because it's like we're grown as hell, but I was a celebrity makeup artist and that's what I was passionate about. I loved makeup. Like I breathed makeup. I was a celebrity makeup artist for 9 years in total from Atlanta to LA. And I loved what I did. I was super passionate about it. But as my clientele started changing and as I kind of climbed that makeup artist ladder, it got to the point where it was no longer a super passion of mine because my clientele kind of drained that out of me. Like, when you're just starting out, you're super hungry, you're super ambitious, and your clientele is normal people like you and I. And when you come and do someone's makeup like you and me, you get that feeling afterwards, like you made their day. You totally just took them up a notch. They're feeling good about themselves. It brings you a different type of gratification. And, once you get to that level where all your clientele is of celebrity status, they do this day in and day out. So you can come in and do your thing, be on your feet 15, 16 hours catering to their beauty needs. And it's just like, all right, thanks girl. See you tomorrow. But like, it's just a different vibe.
Yeah.
And me, I'm like, wait a minute, what? So I went from feeling like, I was the boss of my situation to now kind of being on someone else's payroll and kind of not working unless they were working. And my life just depended on what they had going on. And so that's kind of the first like little trigger for me where I realized like, wait, I'm my own boss, but kind of not really. Right. And I started to crave that flexibility. So at this same exact time, everything happens for a reason, but at the same time, that's what was paying my bills, period. I was living in Los Angeles, but, bills are crazy high, but that's what allowed me to financially support myself. At the same time, I had a best friend who a lot of y'all probably already know is Brandon. And he and I had been very good friends back in Atlanta even, so for years. And he actually was incarcerated. He was locked up for a few years and he had just been coming home around this time. So we were best friends, writing each other every day, just complete friends. And he ended up coming home. His twin brother kind of set up a surprise party for him and I was there, of course. And literally from that moment on, we've been inseparable. We just decided, we've known each other forever. I've seen you through so many bad relationships. You've seen me through so much bad crap in my life. Let's just start fresh with each other. Maybe this is how it should have always been. And so we decided to be in a relationship together. You guys know in the beginning of a relationship, you're on cloud 9. Everything is just fireworks, spectacular. And, it was. And after, we went through so many trials and tribulations of him being on house arrest, halfway house, probation, all these different things that I wasn't ever exposed to really, or had to deal with so close to home. And we found ourselves in a situation where, as good as our intentions were to do the right thing, life hits you and you realize like, damn, all the plans that I had written down or in my mind, they sounded so good. But when you get these bills that start piling up, when your $3,000 rent is due, when you owe child support, it's just like a lot of stuff started coming our way. And we realized really quickly, like, okay, how are we supposed to do this now that you're a felon and you're not able to find a job that pays more than $13 an hour or some crazy,
Right.
And so as, positive as we were and mindset and, ambitious and good, we were just like, what did we just do? Like, I love you. Yeah. I want to be with you. Yeah. But like, are we destined for a life in like low-key poverty now because we're going to be living off of one makeup artist budget for the rest of our lives? Like what the heck are we going to do? So things got really freaking scary for us. you know, we're both used to, I was a single woman with no kids, and my makeup artist salary definitely was enough to keep me comfortable as a woman, you know, by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely wasn't enough for two grown adults. And he comes from a luxurious lifestyle, you know, and so I had an extreme burden on my shoulders, you know, whether he knows that or not. I felt very like obligated, like I have to get us out of this mess somehow, because I want us to live good, and I
There
don't
was
want my man.
pressure. Sorry, there was a lot of pressure.
Pressure, yes, and not because you know, he didn't put the pressure on me, but I just knew who I was dealing with, and I know that he's not the type of man that's going to let his family go without, and he's not going to be the type of man that like lets us get evicted or do, you know, nothing crazy. So
Yeah.
as much as that's comforting, it's also scary when you're dealing with someone who knows nothing but the streets and who can just pick up a phone call and be like, hey bro, what's the move? Like, what
Yeah.
are we doing? And I didn't want those phone calls to start. I didn't want him to start dipping into that lifestyle again. I wanted to start a family. I wanted to do the right thing the right way. And I didn't have any lanes for him to create that. So, you know, as much as, like I said, he came home with notebooks full of ideas and business plans and all that, and that's great. But as a Black man who's freshly home from prison, those plans kind of, when you don't have a mentor, when you don't have any real guidance or any real blueprint, or, you know, it's easy to lose
Like
motivation a little bit, you know? And so it was a very hard and depressing time, I'm not gonna lie. But honestly, we just realized very quickly, like I said, we were in the beginning of our relationship, we loved being together 24/7. And I was already working from home and on set. So I was used to that flexible, like come and go as I please type of lifestyle. So as he's like on his job search and stuff like that, we kind of got spoiled in the sense that we were together 24/7. And so we're just like, you know, how can we find a way to keep this fun, spicy relationship going, but also bring money in at the same time? So we contemplated different things. How about a YouTube channel? People would like to see our journey, your journey. You know, we went through everything. We were on Instagram YouTube 24/7, how to work from home. You know, like I'm sure a lot of you guys did when you discovered me or Lorell. And, you know, it's so many ideas. I was on YouTube 24/7 and my mind was just spiraling. Like, do I do this? Do I do affiliate marketing? Do I do Amazon? Do I do all kinds of different ideas that I never heard of? Like I said,
if I've not tried it all though.
Yes. So it's just like, you know, so many ideas. You don't know what's real. You don't know what's going to work for you. You don't know anything. And so it honestly happened one day at the library. You know, I would pick him up from the halfway house every day. And I would pick them up, and from 7 a.m. till 4 p.m., that would be our research hours. That would be our time together where we would try to put something together before I had to go drop him off back at the halfway house. And so one day we're in the library just researching, and I came across this little book, and it was like 1,000 ways or 100 ways to start a business with very little money. I don't know the exact title, but that's kind of what it was doing. And it listed all these different ideas. And I just remember, like, literally like yesterday, because I felt so defeated as I got to the last page. I legit read every single option, and each one had a summary below it. And I was just reading each one like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I'm a college graduate. I'm smart as hell. Like, I am not going to start a dog shit cleaning company or like a dog walking company. I'm not going to be a nanny. Like, no, I'm like up here. Okay, bitch. Like, so, you know, I started to feel away and my broke ass at the time. Okay. Like, I started to feel away, and I just knew I could do more. And I'm like, this book is failing me. So I get to the last page, and it's like the fourth one from the bottom, and it was drop shipping. And I was just like, what is that? But something about the name just sounds so cool. So I'm like, shipping. So I read the summary, and I'm like, Brandon, like, I just remember something about
whispering in the library, Brandon, I found it. Let's go.
we all. So I'm like, I'm like, yo, we could do this. Like legit, we don't need anything except a computer. And we both got that. So money in the bank, like that's all you need to start this business is an internet connection and a computer.
So literally, like, that is the most raw, realist, down to earth journey I've ever heard. Like, I felt every emotion, even though I've heard the story 100 times, but I felt every single emotion. What better way than to make money online? And it's a perfect segue into what the next question was, which is, what the hell even is drop shipping? Like, what is that? A lot of people in here are drop shippers, but more than half of you are not. What is, anybody in here need to know what the hell is drop shipping? Let us know in the chat. And then if you can answer exactly what it is.
So drop shipping is a form of e-commerce. I'm sure many of you guys know what e-commerce is. It's just the exchange of goods online, selling products, Amazon, eBay, all of that is a form of e-commerce. If you have your own shoe line, makeup line, that is you're selling e-commerce. So I've been exposed to e-commerce without knowing what e-commerce was. I've been exposed to, did we lose signal?
I don't see you. Yeah, it's like frozen.
Okay, hold on. I'm coming back, I think. You're frozen too.
Okay.
Okay, you're good.
I see you now.
Okay. So, I've been subconsciously exposed to drop shipping to e-commerce forever because I'm an online shopper. I love Amazon. I didn't know what it was, but I was partaking. And that's why when I found out that drop shipping and e-commerce is a billion-dollar industry, I wasn't shocked because once I realized and connect the dots, like, oh, I've been an online shopper my whole life. So, because of course I started going through those same doubts that a lot of you probably have, like, oh, is that a fad business model? I don't want to start something that goes away next year.
Mm-hmm.
So as I started doing my research and I started having those doubts, I was so comforted when I realized and put two and two together that no, this is nothing new. E-commerce has been around for ages and it's a billion-dollar industry and it's only getting bigger. So I started to feel even more confident. But as I looked into dropshipping specifically, I realized how much of a gem it really was. And I say that because we all know what e-commerce is now. We all partake in some form or fashion. But when you look at it from a business standpoint and you decide, I want to start my own lash line, my own hair line, my own basketball short line, when you do your research, really quickly, you find out a pretty big investment is involved because in order to put your name on something and make it your own, you have to invest with a supplier to purchase a bulk quantity of that product so that you can package it and label it, put your logo on it, make it special, and then ship it to your customer. That's e-commerce. And it's very enticing for a lot of people who want to brand their own product and have their name and face attached to something.
Mm-hmm.
But when you don't have money, it's just like, damn, I can't do that,
Right. Like, who has $4,000 to drop on a big bulk of some item that you're gonna put your logo on and hope that it sells? And that's not even investing in like the marketing side of it or any other business expenses. So then you're kind of like, your balloon gets popped. You're like,
yes, girl. And I talk to so many people and their heads get so inflated, like, they're so excited of the idea. Like, I have my own t-shirt line, my own hair line. And I'm just like, okay, like, how are you marketing? And they're like, marketing? And I'm like, oh, so you have like a line in your basement that like only you and your homegirls really know exists. Like, you're not making no money. Like, where's the actual business? Like,
exactly.
You still work a day job. Like, this is not a business yet. It's just a nice idea and you feel good because your face is on it and you spent thousands of dollars, but that's not a business yet,
Right.
So when I found out about drop shipping and I realized that this is like pretty much the secret stepping stone, like this is like the entry level to e-commerce that can lead you to having just exactly the same results, if not more, but with less than half of the investment, the headache, the hands-onness. Like, this is such like the secret sauce to getting your feet wet with e-commerce. So what drop shipping is you're selling products online just like you are with any other form of e-commerce, except you're not making an upfront investment at all. You're not buying anything upfront, which sounds so sneaky. That's why I loved it. I was like, wait a minute. So I can sell something. I can sell hundreds of items a month and I don't ever have to even see it.
Yep.
That is mind boggling to me. So all drop shipping is you're finding something, you're sourcing a product. If it's mink eyelashes, that's fine. Let's use that as an example. You're going to find a manufacturer, a drop shipping manufacturer who will offer you those mink eyelashes for 50 cents, okay? Because wholesale, that's pretty much how much it costs, okay? So 50 cents. Now, how much do you and I pay for eyelashes when you go on Lily Galici's website, when you go, girl, $40 a pop, okay? So let's just say we're gonna keep it competitive. We wanna do $30, right? So we just got, we just found a supplier who's gonna offer it to us for 50 cents, right? But we're gonna turn around and list it on our website for $30, okay? Are y'all doing the math? I'm trying to keep it simple here because I'm not a mathematician, but $30.50, there's quite a markup there, okay? So all you're gonna do is now contact that manufacturer. They're gonna supply you free photos, high definition, high quality photos. You're gonna put those photos on your website, and then you're gonna use skills that you learn to market, which this is why we're all here. You guys already know this is the Facebook expert right here. So if you knew these skills and you knew these strategies to market, the whole point of this all is you can start any type of business. And it's almost a no-brainer because all you have to know how to do is market your business in this industry when it comes to drop shipping. So you're gonna put images on your website. You're not gonna buy it. You're not gonna model it. You're not gonna invest none of your time or energy into that. You're gonna use images, put them on your website, and instead of charging 50 cents, you're gonna charge $30. Then you're gonna use Facebook ads and Instagram ads to market your lashes. And then when you make a sale, you're gonna collect the $30. You're gonna send 50 cents to your supplier. They're happy. And now this is where the magic happens. He is going to package it up for you and ship it to your customer for you. So you're never seeing the product. You're never touching it, putting it in your basement, in your closet, and having 10,000 lashes getting dust every day. You're not doing any of that. You're not going to the post office. It's amazing once you get the hang of it. And honestly, the most pivotal part to it is the marketing. Everything else is, product research and things like that, which is definitely important. But if you understand marketing, you can come into this business. And one of my best students is Bree. And, it's because she took yours first, right? So she already knew the ads part. So she came in and she was making, I think her first week marketing, once she graduated the course, she made $2,500 the first week because she already knew Lorell's tactics. And so by the time she went through my course, it was just kind of like a refresher. But she just needed the missing business part for the drop shipping business model. Once you plug those things in together, it was like just another income stream. So it's just a no-brainer. I'm so grateful that I was exposed to this business model so early because I use the same strategies, like I said, over and over and over into different businesses. Now I have several products, several different lanes, and I use Facebook at the core of all of them. So it's just been an amazing, it's changed our lives. Like we don't ever have to feel down about the whole felony thing anymore or feel like we're not going to be able to achieve our dreams. Like we are crushing goals. We got our first house. Like
goals. Lifestyle living, like what luxury, this girl, luxury to another level. Oh man, you went out again. Am I frozen too? While she comes back, just one thing I wanted to add, guys, is when it comes to this business model, I had been running ads already for years when we met. And she came in as an e-com, and I had been helping e-commerce business owners before, but to be honest, I don't think I ever helped a drop shipper before her. Or maybe if I did, I didn't know that they didn't have it in their, garage. I just assumed and I helped them and that was it. But when she really put me on, we can see you now, babe. So when she really put me on, she was like, wait, what? And I was like, no, you do this, you do that. She was like, okay, but do you not understand? Because I was like, where's the stuff? Remember, I was like, but where is it? Like, how much inventory do you have? A lot of you guys, I tell you, you're going to run out of inventory. And she's like, okay. she's like, I'm like, what is drop shipping? So she was mind blown.
I was like, I had a really good friend come over one time for the very first time, and they were kind of like looking at me all weird once they came in my house. And I'm like, girl, what's up? Like, you okay? And then finally, she was just like, just tell me, where's all your product? Like, where you say you have businesses, but like, where's your stuff? And I was like, what stuff? And then she's like, you said you have online stores and you sell things and you make da-da-da. And I'm like, oh my God, you fucking idiot. But we don't have inventory. No, we don't do that. Like, no. But that is so funny. Like, I remember when I met Lorell, the first thing I thought was cha-ching, because I knew she knew the skill set required to take any business to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And so the fact that she's so down to earth, so humble, so easy to learn from, so transparent, like all the great things that you would want in someone who can teach you something, I was just like, you know, this person teaches Facebook ads. She knows Facebook ads, but I'm watching her and I'm listening to her, and she's not ever talking about selling like in e-commerce. Like, she doesn't have a product of her own outside of like helping people learn this stuff. So when I contacted her, I'm like, hey babe, like, you know, you're amazing at what you do. Like, what type of e-commerce are you selling? Like, I know you got a product. And she was like, e-commerce, like, what is,
I was like, no, I'm not doing that private label. Like, I have my services, I have my packages, I have this, that, the family business. And she's like, no, where's your drop shipping store?
And she's like, just explain. Once I explained, she was just like, how quickly can you get a store up so I can run the ads for it? And honestly, that's when we came together, and I was like, you know, honestly, I have an old store. I had just had a baby. The store had been closed for quite a while because I just wanted to focus on other things. And I was like, if this girl really knows, you know, it's not that I didn't know if you knew your stuff. I knew you knew marketing. It's just, this is a different lane. This is dropshipping, not selling a course or selling this or that. So I was like, if it's all going to be the same, I want to know if her strategies can work with smaller ticket items too, not just big expensive stuff. So, you know, I relaunched a very old store of mine that previously had made almost $500,000. And so I knew that this store had potential. I knew that this store could be revamped. And I was like, kind of on the fence, because like I said, I had just had a baby and I didn't want to deal with any kind of failures at this point when it came to that store. But I was like, I felt really good about working with Lorell and her strategies. From my old mentors, I knew she knew what she was talking about. And so I was so curious to see if we could revive this store together. And so I flew out there. We made a weekly, you know, a vacation out of it, brought the kids to meet her kids. It was great. We had such a good week in Orlando visiting her. And in that short period of time, like, I remember we pulled all-nighters, we had our wine, we were chilling, our board was out, we were mapping out our strategy, our funnel, everything. And I was just like, I hope this works for my store. Like, I hope this strategy works, because then it's like we can really expose this to a whole nother channel of people. And sure enough, like, we made over 12.5. Yes.
Yeah. And it was funny too, because in the first like year, we had traveled so much together. It was really, like, that Miami vacation was, I think we'll thought about this. Yeah. And I just I was writing it down, but I think it'd be better coming from you. A couple people are like, you know, they're not used to this model. So they're like, can we see the stores? So when it comes to drop shipping, it's a different business, guys. It's very, I want to say, like, elusive. Because of the tools that are out there, you really don't want to, well, anyway, I mean, we could, but right now we're focusing on our programs.
So I'm adding some more content to Pennies the Gold soon. And one of it's basically going to be, I'm doing my own case study for a store that I recently launched. So it's not the official drop shipping that Pennies the Gold is framed around. It's almost the next level it's still drop shipping, but it's for more of the people who desire to have their own brand and itching to have their name or their own logo attached to something. So I found a way to, you know, kind of crack into that lane for my students. And I'm building a store out as a case study. So I don't mind, you guys can totally look into this one. It's called Legally Rich. And I'll put the handle in here because it is drop shipping. It's just not the exact, it's called print on demand. So it's basically the same thing, except for the fact that you're able to kind of customize your product, whereas when you're doing like real drop shipping, you're just reselling products that already exist. So this is kind of the next level to having your own brand, but still so hands off. Like I sell products on the store every day. It's merch. I sell products on the store every day without having to actually physically touch it or pick out fabrics or sew stuff. It's still drop shipping. But it's kind of the next level because my personal branding is on it. People know that that brand is mine and branded. And so, you can check that out. But I love that you said what you said, because it does, for newbies, a lot of times when they ask me, oh, drop shipping, like, okay, can I see an example? It's such a like, oh, like I feel you. I want to be able to give you examples. And I don't mind. I'll give you other people's stores. I'll give you my
all the time. Like almost every store you guys shop on is drop shipping. So when you guys understand that Walmart drop ships, right? Amazon is obviously like the plug to drop shipping. Like all of these huge corporations, that's what they do. It's literally just not having your own inventory. But when it comes to people like you and I, you know, there's a lot of tools and hacks that you'll learn inside Chelsea's course that can reveal the, you know, kind of success of other and strategies that other huge drop shipping stores use. And once you learn that, it's hard to ever reveal your own. You never want to share that because you worked so hard, and you could switch your store in a minute to now sell a completely different product line. And either way, your name's not on it.
Exactly. So especially like when you take a good higher level course, like one that it's hard to find. One thing about coaches, you guys, I'm sure y'all know, working with Lorell, I'm sure if this is not your first course, you've probably been burned a few times. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. You work with people who get you all excited to work with them, and then you realize like they've left out all the tea. They left out like the real juice to how to make money.
That is the worst.
Like we don't do that at all. There's really enough money for us to all, if you're going to invest with us, we actually want to see you win. So we give all of our resources. And so when you join my program, one of the things that you get, like I always incentivize people when they pay in full or when they act fast to join, because people naturally talk themselves out of blessings every day. So I kind of reward people who are just like with the shit, you know? And so one of the bonuses that I throw in is a really great spy hacking resource, which is just one of the things that Lorell was kind of just touching on. It's just a resource that will give you insights to other drop shipping stores very, very easily. And it lets you see how much money they're making on their store. And it lets you see what their winning product is. And as a drop shipper, that's what we're chasing. That's what we're looking for at all times, is that next winning product. So when you know strategies like that, like what I teach my students, they can go into any drop shipping store real quick online and figure out what product is making them money, how much it's making them, and they can copy it and steal it and sell it themselves. So because I have so many students, I can't give my personal sites away, because all of my students would end up trying to sell the same stuff and we'll never get anywhere. So for that, I have a whole bunch of spy hackers in my course. But you know, Shop Legally Rich is a little bit different. Like that's a logo, you can't go out and have the same one. That'll be weird. So you'll get the shit suit out of you. But you know,
we do drop, and you know, a lot of our, Sakura, I feel you 100%, to each his own. And I think also what you're selling is so unique that you may not have so much competition, but, but really it's about like chasing the next trending product that you can deliver in your marketing message, that it has some sort of solution based thing to it. So we do share all the time, like, oh yeah, we've sold that diaper bag, or we've done this, or we've made a whole bunch of coins off of that. But you know,
longer winning and making me a whole bunch of money, I'll disclose what the product was because it's dead. I already sucked it dry. But if it's still like a store that is bringing me sales, I'm not trying to create more competition for myself. Like, I'm sorry.
Especially because it's very, I don't want to say flighty, but like things can change. It's very seasonal.
Yeah, exactly. Trends change. So if you find a product that's taking off for you, the last thing you want is to have a bunch of other people jump on that same product and become competition. You guys know enough about ads to know it's bidding wars. You know, if you have a campaign that's spending $5, but then you have someone else that's spending $5,000 a day on that product, you know,
show that product, that store's ads before yours, and it could be the same product. It could even be more expensive, but they're going to be in front of you, because it is just a bidding war. That's what it is. So it's really important to, when you run ads, you know, guys, I'm always teaching you like the most cost effective way for your marketing, but it is about competition. If you can navigate a way to show your ads to people in a way that no one else is, even if you have the same product, you can make more sales. You can not have to worry about that. But if you're out here like, yay, everybody, I think the first time we had our store, I was like posting like the link, and she almost killed me. When I tell you guys, like, I picked up the phone and she was screaming. I was like, I didn't know. I thought, like, I've only ever known private label. So I was like, it's our new store. Like, why wouldn't we want to?
Yeah, guys, show support. I'm like,
no. And I was like, oh my God, like, yeah, I get it. Like, I get it. Right. So just something, you know, to think about.
It's a cutthroat world. I remember, you guys, like, as a new dropshipper, I had a student. It was actually my mentor, and this is just goes back to not to scare you guys, because I know everybody on here has the right mindset. You guys have already invested, so you know, we know that y'all get it. But these mentors out here, these gurus out here, these people, whatever, it's like you never know. Like, you have to really trust who you're working with. And I actually invested a lot of money. That's why when people ask me, who was your first mentor, I'll tell y'all about him, but I don't ever want to expose his name, because as much as he did me good as far as teaching me things that helped me and my family make money, he also did a lot of shady things that I would never imagine doing. As a coach to dropshipping, we get exposed to all you guys. Is like, Lorell could be shady and mess with your pixel data and stuff. That's crazy to think that. But no, I'm saying that because he exposed my
Yeah, that's what he did, right?
And he basically tried, like, you know, this is one of my clients, like, look at what she's doing, da, 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 and expose, which is fine, but not to give the name of my store. When he did that, as you guys know, your pixel is tracking who lands on your page, who clicks on your page. And so now I have a whole bunch of random YouTube viewers clicking and watching and adding to cart to retarget, or to
just get her information, right?
And now I'm retargeting people who were never going to buy or never even interested, but you exposed my winning store to your audience of, like, he's a huge YouTuber now, like, completely blown up. And I just couldn't believe he did that to me. So after that, I'm like, never again will I share. You know, you just learn as you go, but people are shady. You just got to be careful. That's why I value Lorell so much, because her intentions are so good. Like, we really want to help people.
You remember when I told you that, like, we were doing a store together, and I was like, who is I won't say his name, but I was like, who is so-and-so? Because we're very, like, if you're going to be an admin or something, you have to be separate. There's no, like, sharing logins. Don't ever let anybody tell you, let me get your login to Facebook so I can see your account. No, because you need to be able to track activity. So I only ever want to have my own login so you can see if it was you or me or whatever, right? So when I had went in there, I was like, who's this person? And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, your pixel data is being shared with XYZ. And she was like, what does that mean? What does that mean? And I was like, that means that they're using your audience right now, and your ads are spending money, you know, training this pixel to people who don't have any intention of buying if they're in your industry with you. And she was like, oh my God, I remember when he asked me to do this, or when he said to go in there so I can do something or whatever. So guys, just be careful.
Right? And then look, she was like, when did your sales start to dip? When did you notice? And like, well, February, I think it was. And she saw the whole graph, the insight, or the event manager, and it was like up, up, up. And then all of a sudden it started doing a weird little thing. And it's because now I have competition. Now someone else is stealing my information. It's just, you know, this is why I know there's men on here, and it's not to say we both teach men, obviously, but there's just something special about, you know, finding a mentor that you trust and that can kind of relate to some of your struggles. And women so hard, you know, not to like be sad on women, but it's just like, we do have it hard, and it is in a male dominated industry. Even Facebook ads, like everything in the This online world especially is driven, it's very male driven. And so sometimes when, you know, these mentors see women coming up and they kind of look at it like, sure, I'll teach you, like, you know, and
You're
they
not
don't
gonna get it anyway, or what the hell do you know, or how'd you get here? I mean, it's disgusting.
like I'm trying to help my family, like please don't take advantage of me, like
Right.
please know what it took for me to come up with this money. And that's why we really respect the people that we're not just like an automated type of situation where we don't know our students. Like I know all my students, like obviously not by faith, but I know their names, I know who they are, like they know my personal life, because it's important to have that transparency and that connection.
Yeah.
I hate places that act like they're like ours, and then the minute you join, you're talking to you never talk to them
Never
ever.
see them again.
So,
Guys,
like,
we each just dropped almost 10K on our last investments. And it's funny because we did like the opposite. Like she has one end and I have the competition. And I don't know if you talked to Mark, but I've never talked to Sam like himself. Well, maybe once, but like as it gets more and more higher up, like it doesn't really change. You know what I mean? You have to take what you learn and you have to run with it.
yeah. And it's like once you get in and you realize that that's the experience you're about to have, you want to like kill yourself. You're like, because there's obviously like it's done. You spent the money, you've invested, and now you realize like this is what they just sold me a dream. And you know, it's just
Now,
like,
don't get it twisted. The information is crazy. Like they do unlock the secrets at that point, but you have to figure it out. You have to have so much, of your own grit. Like when I get people, who join the program and they're like, I want to handhold as much as I can and I want to be here, but it does take a lot of initiative. Like you have to take the learnings and you have to completely run with it and make it your own. And I love that Bree said that one time we were doing a live in your class and she was like, guys, it doesn't stop here. Like you have to, this is not the end all be all. Like you have to keep going because you can make money on money on money. I don't know, Bree, if you remember that, but we were like, hello, finally someone from that side is saying, continue to invest, continue to learn. But anyway, we vowed to each other as accountability partners that we would never do that to our students. We want to be able to be here for you guys and be present as much as we can, because it's really unfortunate when they kind of leave you hanging to all their team members and that's it.
And that's exactly why, as you get bigger and bigger and have more and more students, like I can see how it's like, oh my God, how is my mentor juggling 5,000, like even Danielle, like you have 1,000 students all picking your brain constantly. It is overwhelming, but that's why I know you are the same way. Like we don't have ongoing launches forever where we're just taking on swarms of people. It's not that program, because our students, like we have to work with you guys as much as possible. Every situation is different, but that's why we also try to attract the type of clientele or student who is resourceful, who as much as you need your hand held at times, you're willing to do like what Brie, like do the freaking work and like Google something. Like stop asking questions that Brie, I be I'm not with it. Like you're asking me how to, like something that you could literally type into Google. Like I like working with winners, period. I'm not here to create winners. You have to have a winning mindset already. I don't care if you're broke. I don't care whatever, but your mindset, you have to be able to navigate some stuff and you have to want this more than I want you to have it.
For you, exactly.
So I don't know. I'm very blessed because I feel like my students are all like.
They are. And we do turn, and not to sound like that, but we have turned people away. We try to be selective as much as possible because we want you guys to have that mindset where you believe you can do it. And I know I talk about this in, the mindset module, but you have to believe in yourself or else it's never going to actually exist. Like that's the very first step. And then we give you, the tools and resources and the know-how for you to, actually execute it. Yeah, but I know, time is like flying and we can do this all day. I have a couple, last questions and then we can open the line. Beautiful scenery, but I can't see you anymore. But it's okay. Oh, I see you. Okay. A couple of questions and some of them might go hand in hand, but can you share with us, how important, no, you touched on marketing, but like how important marketing, the skill set of marketing and the skill set of Facebook and Instagram ads is when it comes to building a successful business in e-commerce?
It's like having a grand opening and you put all this time, effort into your packaging, your display models, you have a store on Rodeo Drive, like you've invested to have every piece of your business flawless, but then you have a grand opening that you didn't market and literally there's crickets. Like you get no customers that day, you get no attention, no, you guys, like I have students sometimes that freak out about their launch date, and like on Shopify, you literally just hit a button, launch, like launch my store. And that day, your store is now public for the world to be able to shop with you. And I had to like really break down to my students the other day because one of my students was just like, oh, I think I'm ready to launch, but I'm just so nervous and this and that. And I was like, I just want you to know, you hitting that button, it doesn't send out like a bat signal to the world to let them know you exist. Like, guess what? We still don't know you exist. Like, nobody knows you exist. And so the only thing that will let people know that you exist is you putting your business in the forefront of millions of people. And you do that with marketing. If you don't, and that's why, honestly, like I meet a lot of ambitious people from all journeys, like they're all at different phases of their life. And the ones that come to me and they're like, I lost my job. I don't have any money right now. I really want to start this business. I'm very inspired by your story. I want to drop ship. But it's either take your course or pay rent.
Yeah.
I tell them straight away. And there's a lot of mentors that are like, well, take my course and then you can pay your rent and blah, blah, blah. No. That. This is not that. This is not a job. This is not a 9-to-5. There are no guarantees where you show up and then you get cut a paycheck. Absolutely not. This is the type of situation where you can go out and spend $100,000, $200,000 on a Ferrari, on your dream car. And guess what? If you don't put gas in that car, it goes absolutely nowhere. I don't care how nice your car is. I don't care. And unless you're one of those people that just want to park the car outside your house to get a couple little waves here and there, that's cool. But I'm not in that market. Like I'm trying to let the world know I exist. I want the world to know I have a Ferrari. I want the world to know I have a new store, grand opening. And unless you're willing to put fuel in that, fuel your business, nobody in the world will know that you exist. You could have the best idea, the best concept, the best invention. If you don't plan to put money into your marketing, you will fail. You will have to close your doors. You will go bankrupt. You will end up losing that business. And I've seen it happen time and time again. I've had friends who have put their life savings into having the most gorgeous storefronts in Los Angeles, paying $9,000 a month for their rent space for the most literally top-notch beautiful store, okay, that you would think like freaking celebrities would be shopping at. However, on their grand opening day, I sat there. I was the first one there to support my friend, and I'm sitting there like, where's your customers, dude? Like, this store is beautiful. Where are your customers? I don't know. I guess, money, it's the time of month and this and that. And I'm like, did you promote this? Well, yeah, I did a pop-up shop and I handed out a lot of flyers and I posted on Instagram. You did what? What? So wait, did you run ads or not?
Right.
Like, girl, you could have targeted our zip code. You could have put in the people that live in 5-mile radius of this
shop at the store across the street. Like, what
the hell was you thinking?
I mean, you're wasting my time.
Why am I
doing none of this stuff?
All that. So I just, it doesn't matter how beautiful. I mean, I swear to God, she didn't get not one person come in.
That's terrible. But it's just like when,
gave all her merchandise. Honestly, by the time she got customers to come in that damn store, it was already the next season and none of her inventory, goddamn, matched the weather. And so ended up having to go to the damn swap meet and give her whole collection for like $5, no cap.
Oh my gosh.
It was very sad and it was very hard to watch, especially since I'm sitting there in her lobby and all you hear is cha-ching, cha-ching. Actually, she's the friend that came to my house because I was like, girl, I just got to show you that like you didn't have to do this. And I honestly thought she had it all figured out because her store was so beautiful. So I didn't want to come with my drop shipping and like rub it on her like, girl, you did the hard way. I didn't want to do that. I really thought she was going to have a bomb ass grand opening. And so I'm like, I just need to come to my house. Like, I'm going to teach you drop shipping. I want to help you out. Cause she ended up having to file bankruptcy and everything. Like it was it was so heartbreaking. She put every dollar of her and her husband, they relocated from the East Coast. I watched her birth this beautiful baby and I caught her too late. You know what I'm saying? And that's what hurts me when I talk to students who are just like so passionate about their ideas and this and that, and they put so much into it. And I'm just like, damn, like you could have just started off drop shipping first to get the validation. All you guys is that validation. Because whether you have the real physical product or you're a drop shipper, the one thing that's the same is that you need to market, you have to master marketing.
No matter what you sell, it doesn't matter. You always need to understand how to market and advertise your business, and not to think that someone else should be doing it for you, because then what the hell is the difference between them running your business for you? If you do not understand what it takes to make sales in your business, whether you walk dogs for a living or you have a real store, then you don't have a real business. If you don't know what it takes to take someone who has never heard about you or your products to paying customers and then putting that on repeat, which is why you guys get that, like that's why you're here, right? Yeah. But it's important to also understand that it doesn't stop here. We have so many members in both of ours who understand how powerful learning Facebook ads is and the skill set that it takes to, once you get this, you can sell anything. So, and I highly recommend you guys do that, you know, because of, just real quick, I know, you know, we're starting to wrap things up, but because of Facebook ads, I've been able to have so many new business models that I would have never thought of before. Hence, thank God, when I met Chelsea and I was put on to drop shipping, I was like, let's go. Like, I like money. If y'all like money, I like money. So if I already have a skill set that I can copy and paste and apply to something else, why wouldn't I use that? Which is why she was looking at me like I was crazy. You know, when I left corporate and I first launched my first course, it wasn't this, it was some old stupid name. I won't even repeat the name, but I had a lot of real estate agents that joined. I didn't know anything about real estate. I didn't. Even when Bree came, she was like, but I see you have all these testimonials, like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I know, like, the strategies work for them, but I personally have never sold real estate. It's just, I know how to generate leads, or I know how to grow sales. Tell me how, a year later, I was like, all right, I got to see what this is about, because y'all are making too much money. And I went and I got licensed in the state of Florida so that I can use my ad skill set to make money in real estate. So now my husband and I, we do real estate, you know, so it's like, it's a lot of different ways that this is going to help you. But I would say the easiest and most cost-effective way to get started with this skill set is drop shipping. You need no additional upfront costs. You're not buying anything. You're not, you know, putting labels on stuff. You're not running to the post office like she said. All you need to do is know how to run Facebook and Instagram ads, and obviously other skill sets like product research and a lot of hacks and tools that Chelsea teaches her students.
Yeah, no, literally, like if you're in the industry and you want to eventually have your own brand, own line, you know, I talk to a lot of women who are so obsessed with hairlines and lashes. That's why I always use that as an example. But it's like with all the competition that's out there, please don't think that you're going to launch this bundle, this hairline, and you're gonna do anything with it if you don't have a solid marketing plan. I asked them, like, have you ever sold hair before? No, but I wear hair and I love hair and I just know every girl needs hair. That's great. That's what you and I and a million other people know. But how are you going to make people buy your hair? Oh, I'm going to model it and put it. Oh, okay. Are you an influencer? You have like 1 million followers? Well, no, one of my pages has 1,200. Another page has like 800. Oh, okay. That's cool. Well, guess what? You need to cap that idea right now, bro. Like, this is not going to work. I'm not trying to be like the bear bad news, but like, are you trying to make it in 10 years or are you trying to make it like this year? Because drop shipping helped me make my first 6 figures in 6 months, period. Like, and after that, it was, and now you make 6 figures in 3 months. It's like, once you know how to use this skill set, you just keep refining it and refining it and refining it. And it's honestly the best stepping stone. Like she said, I started off as a drop shipper. Now I do have physical products as well, only because I'm passionate about them. But when I tell you, I'm so spoiled as a drop shipper. Like I have my journal, for example. It's a physical journal book, right? When I make a sale, it's great. Like I appreciate the support. I love that I'm about to have a piece of me in your home and I made that for y'all, right? But I can't lie. Like I get a sale and I'm like,
in the post office.
Can the post office come to me today? Or like I have to leave and go and give this to y'all? Like, like it's a totally different thing. And it would be very stressful.
Like, I have something else for you to mail.
Brandon, are you going to the post office today? Customers be like, have you shipped it off yet? Well, Brandon still hasn't gone to the damn post office, so no. But no, I'm just saying like the same strategy. And honestly, that book, creating that journal was very expensive. You know what I'm saying? So I can only imagine a hairline and clothing and investing thousands, like, and then to watch it sit there. Like I have a stack of journals right now. It's probably $1,500 worth of journals because now I have to buy in bulk. That's just what you have to do when you go that route of having something of your own. And so I have a ton of journals in there. And when I look at it, all I see is dollar signs. When I look at it, I'm just like, wow, I have $1,000 just sitting there collecting dust. If I would have drop shipped, I would have not been at risk of having my money just sitting and collecting dust.
Yeah.
A great stepping stone. I don't run ads for the journal. If I did, they'd be gone today. Like I know I could sell them all in a few hours, but I have so many other things on my plate. I don't want to go to the post office. I'm like, I'm not running ads for you because I don't want to go to the post office today.
Right. But you said something that I know everyone is thinking. You had like kind of tapped on it and it led into my next question anyway. Can you, now that they have a good idea of the journey and what it takes, right? Can you explain to them what success looks like in dropshipping? Like what kind of success you've seen in your stores? I mean, I told them, let me just preface, when you guys come on the webinar, you do see that when we met, she was already doing 20-something thousand per month. She came to me because she was ready to scale and she used my technique. She scaled her stores. She put in the work, scaled her stores. But what is like, your 6 figures in 6 months? How did that, come about for you? What's the most you've ever seen with drop shipping?
Oh my gosh. So on a single store, I've always had multiple stores at one time, which has been a blessing and a freaking curse, to be honest with you. I'll be done in just a sec. It's a lot of work having multiple stores, which is, a rookie mistake, I will say. I never suggest as a beginner doing that, but we've had 6-figure months collectively. And that is that's for someone like me, you know what I'm saying? Like for someone like me who has always worked either a 9-to-5 or hustled or had to do something like, more draining and tedious to make money, to be able to make that from your house, like with your family, with, the TV on and friends over, it's just such an amazing, liberating feeling. Like going from a tiny studio apartment in the hood of LA and being totally okay with that because I understood the journey very, it is what it is, but going from that to now where we're at today. And obviously it was a lot of effort. It was a lot of hard work, a lot of sleepless nights, but I would pick that over physically laboring and being on my feet, wearing out my back, draining myself, being away from my family. Like even you were away from your family for an extensive period working your corporate job. And yeah, you were making a crap ton of money, but it's like nothing is worth
No.
being away from these moments of our babies growing. And so to be able to make that money from home and not even have to go to the post office, you know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy. And it almost feels not legit. It almost feels like, is this allowed?
Right.
You're not
having to ship anything, not having to hold anything in your house. You guys can see success. I mean, it's just about having, you know, that mentor that is going to give you the tea, that is going to tell you, you know, what kind of hurdles or obstacles to avoid so that you don't get trapped in this, you know, product that won't actually sell. And then
newbie drop shippers, and not even drop shippers, but business in general, they tend to give up right before their glory moment. Like you'll have and it's all honestly I'm not gonna say all 100%, but a huge portion of it is the marketing. I mean, like huge. You can have the best idea, like I said, but if you're not willing to put the gas in the freaking car, you're not going to make money. And so I have people who will spend all this time designing their beautiful online store, taking months, and they'll launch and feel so excited, not knowing like, babe, I know that was like an experience for you to design that store. You put all that love in there and you feel like you've invested so much, but that's not the vehicle.
right.
That's just letter A. Like
Right.
you have to do the marketing, and that's the part that is constant. The store's done. Guess what? You never have to do that again. Like, great, you're done. Now you can just add a few products here and there, spruce it up, add a sale, whatever. But the part that takes consistent work is your marketing, your ads. You have to be willing to understand your data and the information that you're acquiring through your investment for marketing.
Right.
And if you give up at that point, in your mind, you're going to be feeling like, I spent 6 months, I designed my store, I did research. Okay, well, how long?
It doesn't work.
Well, I spent $50 in 2 weeks and it didn't work. What?
We do that so often. It's sad, but and I know like I'm giddy today. I'm like, he, but in reality, it's sad. Like, guys, giving up is the worst possible thing that you could do in any business, but especially in advertising and especially in e-commerce and dropshipping. It's your own business. Like, guys, what do you think this is? Like, we've been doing this for so many years. You know, you cannot expect to come into something in a few weeks in or a few dollars in, right? Because you've worked so hard studying, but you know, you only did the first 2 questions on your test. You failed your test. And now you're like, screw school. This doesn't work. Well, it's working for a lot of other people. You have to keep going. You have to.
Running an engagement ad, you spent $50 and you're mad you didn't get sales. Like, you're not even at that part of the funnel yet. You haven't even optimized for the sales yet, but you're like, demanding instant results. And it's like, drop shipping is sweet, but it's like, it's not that sweet to the point where you don't have to market. Like, you guys, it doesn't matter what business you're in. You have to be willing to put some skin in the game. And it doesn't feel good in the beginning. I'm going to be the first to admit that. In the beginning, it feels like death to put money into or put gas in your car and it like barely moves. You're like, hold on, I just filled up premium and this thing went for 5 minutes.
I mean, you guys know when you buy a new nice car and you drive off the lot, the first time you need gas, you're like, I just, I mean, yeah, okay, well, do you want to keep going or no? So, you know, and one thing cool to kind of, I guess, put out there is that when Chelsea put me on, it was so exciting because think about it, like she had already known ads. She did great, but she was like, I need to get more profit out of my ad spend. At that point, she was like, I know that's why I'm not scaling. I'm making this money, but I'm also spending a lot. Can you help? And so, oh, thank you, Devin. And so it was funny because so I remember that she was like, look, I got this product. This is what we should throw up on our store next. And I was like, got you. I'm going to go get the people. And it was just easy. It was like match made in heaven because that's all it took. Facebook and Instagram gives you the data. Like, it's telling you where your people are, what they like, what they're into. All you have to do is give them a couple dollars to put your ad in front of those people. You can sell anything. You know how many times that we've made so much money on, I won't even release the products, but on certain products, because I said, hey, I'm looking at insights and I'm seeing that X amount of people are into this right now. And she was like, what? Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, it's on the store. Put that up. It's on the store. And I was like, but are you sure? She was like, it's up. It's up. You got, right.
Wow.
I was like, it says, 1.8 million people, this is trending right now, like this keyword, they're into this, whatever. And she was like, it's up. Go ahead, take it. I'm like, up. So guys, it's really that simple, with drop shipping. But, just for kind of some parting words, can you just give them any tips on, for those who are in here today, like those that are actually using ads, right? Maybe we will repurpose this, and then some people may not be using ads, but for those that are using ads for something else, for another business, right? And they're curious about earning income with drop shipping. Can you tell them what that next step would look like?
Okay, sorry. No, I'm a little
So like, no, it's okay. And so like, y'all know ads, right? You're running ads for another business. Now you're like, I want to get into drop shipping. I mean, clearly she has the course for you, but like, what's the first step? Like, do they, master what they're doing now and then say, okay, come on over? Because I want them to make more money with you. I mean,
honestly, if you've been able to master, honestly, it took me until meeting you. So what? 2 years out of the 3 years as a drop shipper. Granted, I was already, like you said, making 6 figures. I was already blah, blah, blah. But one thing I can say about my first mentor, and I think it was his strategy, just because he wanted to suck my money from me every month. It's like, unlike you and I who charge a flat fee, he charged me monthly. So when you're kind of driven by other people's money and investments, you find ways to kind of dangle the carrot. Okay. We don't have a need to dangle no damn carrot, because our goal isn't to keep you dependent on us. We've got you invested. The last thing I want is for you to need me for the rest of your life. The goal is to teach you and move on, So when you build a business model where you need people's investment every month, you give them bits and pieces like a little rabbit, right? So he never explained to me I didn't even know the term funnel until I met Lorell, which is crazy to think that we made what we made and we did as well as we did without even fully understanding the journey of a customer. Which
we're talking about an ad funnel. She's not talking about like click funnels and all that. We're talking about like the ad funnel strategy that's taught in the program. She was like, wait a minute, what?
Yes. So I understood the steps like very mechanically. He kind of hit me with the, all right, first you run a campaign on this one. And so I had like my little cheat sheet of like step one, and it was very robotic. Every time I launched a product, I went back to my cheat sheet and I'm like, okay, I have to put up the product, I have to do the description, then I have to run this ad for 5 days and then for 3 days. And then everything was like very outlined, and it didn't have any like psychology behind it. It didn't have any reasoning. I couldn't really explain why I was doing what I was doing. I just knew, hold on, I can't make a move without my cheat sheet. I have to see what's next. Once I learned the funnel and like the whole mental process of the customer journey, when and why I show a customer this type of ad versus this type of ad, what the customer is thinking when they're seeing that at that time. Once I understood that, it really it took my business to the next level, honestly. And it helped me, like she said, it helped me profit a whole lot more, because I wasn't going straight for those purchases the same way that he taught me, like all aggressive, pour all your money into purchase. Why am I going straight for purchase if Facebook doesn't even know who my customer is yet? So once she really got that part down, I was able to, I didn't have to, work with her for months. I didn't have to, really drill this in for very long. It was just that one simple switch that allowed me to apply certain changes to my business that allowed me to level up very quickly. And as I continued to learn, it just kept getting more and more refined and more better. So that's why that in itself, once she exposed me to that whole funnel and like the whole process, I was like, I would really appreciate it if you could. I could always teach my students the way I learned and give them kind of like this really rough intro into ads, and yeah, they'll make money and stuff, but I loved the way that you broke it down and made it so understandable so that I could do it by myself. And once I realized that that's how you taught, I was like, this is perfect for intro. I wish I would have learned this way originally. It would have saved me so much money, but now I want to teach my students the way that you have taught me, and expose them to the real core dynamics of what it takes for an ad to be successful. So I say that to say, if you feel like you can kind of grip, like I said, Brianna, like first she took your course and then jumped right.
Bree is way too quiet, like private. We have to call her out every time. Last thing I heard, and this was a long time ago, well, last thing I heard publicly, that's the only reason I'm gonna reveal it, because you said it publicly, was she was at 20,000 for the quarter, or 25,000 for the quarter, and it was like a new store she had just opened. Or was it a month? I'm sorry, I could be messing these numbers up, but I can pull it up. Bree is very, let us know, Bree, because you've been holding out.
So at that time, what you're talking about, I did like 20, I think it was 25,000, and it was over the course of like 8 weeks. After that post, I ended up doing about $50,000, and that was like right around the holiday time. And then I shut my store down.
Let me hold some real quick. I'm gonna send you my
happy hour on Bree.
Yes.
My goodness.
That's amazing, Bree. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. It works. It works, guys. So if you have any doubt, it works. I'm just like everybody in this group, like a regular girl just getting it done, and it works.
That's amazing.
Thank you, Bree.
That's here. I love it. I feel like so many of my students, like they be on my heels in the beginning when they're trying to learn, and then as soon as they start connecting the dots, I'd be like, can I get some screenshots? Like, can I just sort of like stroke my own ego real quick? Are y'all still alive? But it's like,
you can tell because they go missing. You could tell who's making money because they go missing. Bree was like, okay, bye guys. Didn't even say bye. She was asking all the questions. All of a sudden we didn't see Bree anymore. We were like, should we be worried? Man, those screenshots she was sending us though, she would come back. She would throw some bones. We're like, oh.
I love it. It makes me feel so good because it's like all it takes is you wanting it bad enough. You will make it happen. The tools are there. You just have to execute it. You have to think outside the box and get creative with it, and it will work. It will work. Like, you know.
So how can they get in touch with you? I mean, when they're ready, which I think a lot of them are, because they're coming towards the end of the program where they've got this ads thing and they've got lifetime access to come back to this, at any time. What's the next steps for someone that does want to take pennies to gold?
So my goal is to, expose this to as many people as I can. So I found that a webinar was the easiest way to do that. I have a link in my bio on Instagram. My Instagram, you guys can follow me. I'm always dropping tips and talking about dropshipping day in and day out. So follow me on Instagram. In the link in my bio, there is a webinar training, which is going to be kind of redundant since we've just spoken for an hour about this topic. So if you're ready and you know that this is something you want to kind of venture into, normally my course is $24.98. I have a promotion going right now for Lorell students. She told me a lot of you guys are probably going to be interested, so I've agreed to knock it back, and so it's $19.97.
That's crazy. That's a crazy steal. Like,
the goal here is to help as many people as I possibly can. The fact that your students know, I want success stories. That's what I care about, and when your students enroll in my program, it's almost like I already know that's going to be an instant success story. The hard part is already done. It's kind of like, so I don't need to charge y'all full price because you're going to come in and crush it. Like, you're not going to need me as much really. Because you already had Lorell. So Lorell, I sent you the link, right? I'm not tech savvy. I don't know how to
get the link, but I want you guys, I can share it with you, but I want you guys to either DM her, just contact her right after this. I know we're wrapping up, but just tell her you're from SSL and she'll honor that. I don't know if on your website it's going to be the normal price or not, but I think that would be the best way if they were interested, in getting started. But I would just say, like, if you're ready in your life, in your mind, if you're mentally ready to have another income stream that is different from what you're doing now, and you want those skills to just open a new business, and you already have the Facebook and Instagram ad skill set, if you want to make more money, I would always recommend going with Chelsea to learn dropshipping.
Definitely. I look forward to working with you guys. Thank you, Bree, Devin, you know, working with some of y'all already who have taken both of our courses. You guys already know how much effort and love and passion we put into these programs. So just as much as you guys have gained from them, you've taught us so much, and we've gained so much value from working with you guys. And we're always trying to make our programs better. You know, Lorell and I talk weekly on different things we could do to improve. We're working on some in-person workshops for, you know, the next few months, but it's just so much. It never stops. We really are motivated by you guys wanting to do better in life, and we'll never stop trying to help you guys in one way or another. That's why these courses are not capped at 6 weeks or 7 weeks and then you never hear from us again. I have students from my first batch of students who still show up to our lives and our Q&As because they want to get ongoing training, and we'll always be here for y'all for that purpose. So I wish y'all the best of luck. I'm happy to work with anybody who's ready to take that next step. Now that you know Facebook ads, you're gonna kill it. Why not add another stream of income for your family? Something any age group can do. Have your teenagers help you. Like, anybody can do this. So it's a no-brainer, honestly. And I really look forward to kind of exposing more people to this and working with y'all. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us today. This was amazing. And in case y'all missed it, Bree took both courses. Hello. Like that. I mean, so many people. Shakia, there's a lot of people actually that did both. But it's just a no-brainer. Once you know ads and you want to sell something else, you want to create another income stream, that's the way to go. So thank you guys so much. What we're going to do for the sake of time is if there were any questions submitted for Chelsea, I'm going to go ahead and create a little thread, a post in the group, and she can answer them for you. In case you guys didn't know, she obviously is an OG of social sales apps. So she's in the group. You guys just probably haven't really seen her before, but she can go ahead when you have some time and answer their questions, if that's okay with you. I think your screen froze again. Oh, you already messaged her. Perfect. Yes, obviously go follow her at Honey Gold. I think her screen froze, but she will answer. She's very, very hands-on. So I'll post them in the group. Anything else? Thank you so much, guys. Oh, there you go.
Okay. I was just going to say, I love y'all. I have to go. I have an interview that's been sitting here waiting on me. I'm so rude. But I'm glad I got this word out for y'all. And I really hope, you know,
yeah.
Even if you guys just have questions, hit me up anytime and we'll get it done. Okay. Lorell.
Right, thank you.
Babe.
Bye guys. We'll see you next week. Okay. Thanks, Bree. Thanks everybody.